What is up, guys? Welcome back to Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another Walking Dead video for today. Today I wanted to do a video talking about The Walking Dead Season 9, and especially after that awesome trailer from yesterday, which I did do a breakdown for, by the way. Go ahead and check that out. It was posted last night. Basically, I wanted to talk about The Walking Dead Season 9 and the ideal storyline from the comics that we're going to be getting really soon, which is the Fair storyline. So that's really, really cool. Well, it's not really a storyline, but it's more so of an event in the Walking Dead comic book series that is related to the Whispers introduction. So that's really, really cool. So basically in the Walking Dead comics, and I'll keep this spoiler free, by the way, there's an event that's coming up pretty soon where the survivors have a fair. They basically want to bring the communities back together because they've been pretty distant from each other, and even more so in the television series, it seems like, with the big time skip after Rick and all that stuff. So it looks like, from what I'm seeing here, they're going to adapt it in the television series almost maybe verbatim. They're gonna have the fair. They're gonna have all the communities joining together for this fair. We have tons of lines in the trailer where Carol is saying this fair could be our last chance. And, kind of getting ready for the fair. So, I'm assuming for this one, for the television series, we're going to see pretty much, like I said, an exact version of this in the television series version. Now, what episode will we see this? Now, if you've read the comics, you know what happens at the fair. I'm not going to spoil that in this video because there are some pretty major things that happen at the fair, and I know that a lot of people don't want spoilers. So if you guys want to see, if you guys haven't read the comic book series version and you want to see me talk about what happened at the fair, and if you want to know, I can do a video on it, but there has to be enough demand for it because I know a lot of people don't like spoilers, and I want to make sure that I'm not offending anybody or making anybody upsetting anybody by putting spoilers into my video, because I've done that a few times and I've gotten quite a bit of hate for it. So I want to kind of make sure that you guys want to see me explain what happened in the fair, kind of before I just go ahead and, spoil it for everybody that hasn't read the comics. So, really, really cool stuff. So, the people that read the comics, specifically issue 142, what happens in the fair and how crazy it is. So, for the television series, what episode are we going to see this in? We know, obviously, from what I can pull from this, we're going to see it in the Kingdom. It's not going to be in Alexandria like in the comic. It looks like it's going to be at the Kingdom. So, I'm fine with that, to be honest. I think that's fine, because, we have to, change certain things up. Like in the television series, we won't have Rick at the fair, which is going to be very tough to watch, for sure. But what are you going to do, really? So, cool stuff there. Now, in terms of my predictions for what episode I think this will be in. So, I don't think it'll be the mid-season premiere. I don't think we're going to start with the fair. We have other stuff that has to happen first. From what I can gather, it looks like they're going to capture Lydia, most like, Alpha's daughter, in the mid-season premiere and lock her up in the cell, which we can, see in the trailers. Episode 10, it looks like we might actually get to see, the introduction episode for Alpha Omega, which kind of looks, it sounds like it's, referring to Alpha. And it looks like in episode 10, she will show up at the hilltop and, try to get her daughter back. So, then we have the fight between Daryl and Beta. So that has to be episode 11 or 12, somewhere around that time, after we already have met Alpha and she gets her daughter back. And we have, the Lydia and Henry storyline, for the television series. So we're going to have to go through all of that first. So I'm assuming for the fair, if I had to make a predictions, I'm assuming that we'll see the fair in episode 12 or 13. I'm going to go with episode 13 for this one, because I feel like episode 12 could be the fight between Daryl and Beta. So I really feel like they could stretch out Alpha's introduction for at least the first 2 or 3 episodes in the second half, and we could see the fair maybe in episode 13, the fight with Daryl and Beta the episode before, episode 12, and I think if I had to bet, episode 13 will probably be the fair episode. And then we'll have 14, 15, and then 16. So, which, you know, it seems like they're probably going to end the season with the issue 144 moment. Again, I won't spoil that for non-comic readers either, but they'll probably have the 144 moment is kind of the way they're going to end the season. So that's why I feel like the fair has to be kind of later on in the season, not, you know, early. And that's why I feel like we're going to see a lot of stuff before the fair. So I'm going to assume, I think the fair will be in episode 13 or 14. But again, 14, it sounds like we might get a full flashback episode of the X's and all that. So, which we did discuss yesterday. So I think the fair will be in episode 13. That's just my prediction. I could be wrong. It could even be in episode 15. It could be really far ahead. But since we saw it in the trailer for the second half of the season, we saw the kingdom and the fair, I feel like because they've never had a promo for the second half showing scenes from the second last episode of, you know, the next 8 episodes. So that's why I feel like it has to be episode 12 or 13. And I feel like it's going to be episode 13 just a bit. So really cool stuff, though. Cannot wait to see what on earth they're going to do with the fair and the television series, how close it'll be to the comics, because I do feel like they're going to make this pretty close to the comics, aside from Rick, you know, not being there. But aside from that, it should be mostly the same, and I'm super excited to see how they handle it for the television series. So I'm going to end the video here, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. What episode do you think the fair will be in if you've read the comics? And if you haven't read the comics and you are curious in seeing what, you know, just what happens in the fair, all you got to do is let me know, and I will do a video on what exactly happens at the fair in the comics and why it's such a big deal for comic readers. So really cool stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.